So I genuinely don't anticipate this message on being, I don't anticipate on this message being long. But this literally just came through loud and fucking clear. I was literally in the middle of reading, my, spirit hacking book by Shaman Durek. And that was a gift, from a friend. And as I was reading this particular passage, my crown chakra started tingling, and I haven't, really felt that much lately. But I definitely felt it now, and I just kind of decided to pause. I paused my timer. I was, let me just sit with this real fast. What are you trying to tell me, spirit? And what immediately came through, which is why I'm recording this, because I'm being obedient in this moment more than I feel like I'm being obedient, but not in all the ways that I need to. So, it's like I said okay at the end of it, and this was my okay. Like, I need to now, like, you said okay, what are you gonna do now? Like, they're like looking at me like, type thing. So the message that came through was, the world needs what we give you, but through your lens. The world needs what we give you, but through your lens. Okay. So I'm sharing this because, for one, this is part of my responsibility, right? Me being obedient to what I'm being asked to do, but I know I'm not the only one. So this is coming up. Whoever's seeing this is coming up as confirmation for you, okay? That if you're receiving this message, this is your confirmation, okay? That whatever messages you've been sleeping on, whatever messages you've been sitting on, okay, you need to start sharing them. It's literally the analogy they gave me, or I should say the example I was given, was the same as, let's say, that, we all have like a unique kaleidoscope, right? That has, it's kind of like the same as us all having different sunglasses, right? And they all have different shades that we, are able to see through. And but the initial, no, actually that was the initial, but it wasn't in the form of sunglasses, but it was like lens, like, glasses lens. And then they switched it to a kaleidoscope that has different colors, right? The shapes that you see when you turn it, are different. The colors, the pictures that it creates every time you turn it just a little bit, type of thing. And so it's literally like all of us as a collective all have like a different kaleidoscope that's all unique to each of us, right? That we were gifted with when we came here. And it's like now it's like the pull is like they're tired of waiting. Like, I literally started crying while I was channeling the message, because it was literally it felt like my soul was begging me at this point, like literally begging me, like, we're waiting for you, please stop. It was the please. That's what got me. That's what got me. It was the please stop holding back. We're waiting for you. They're waiting for you. Please stop holding back. Please stop waiting. And I was just like, fuck. Like, the guilt ate me up from the inside out in like 5 seconds. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even bullshitting. Like, that's how quickly this shit hit me. I was like, damn, okay, got it. Fuck. That, and it's the guilt of knowing that I have like a good size archive of a bunch of stuff that I've created that I just haven't put out of fear. That's just what it is. Fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of, a lot of stuff, right? But it's just, me choosing to allow myself to move past that and not let it be a hindrance anymore, to, care more about my path and my mission and my assignment over the fear of the darkness. Like, I was literally just reading that, this chapter that I had just completed on the other page, and it was talking about the will, like you're strong, that your will has to be so strong to um where it said, where is it saying it's going to do, when it's talking about the darkness and how, you know, it wants to, that's like the matrix basically, right? It's going to do whatever you can, whatever it can to keep you where it wants you, which is stuck in the system, stuck in the status quo, and stuck in your disempowerment. And that's where your will comes in to say, step off darkness, I'm running the show. And after I read that part, I highlighted it underneath that 3 times. And then I started, you know, saying, where I was just like, step the fuck off darkness, I'm running this motherfucking show, I'm running this goddamn thing, I'm producing this motherfucking movie. Like, and it wasn't the cursing, you know what I'm saying, but it was more so just realizing that that was my raw authenticity and my truth in that moment, and not caring about the language I was using, you know what I'm saying, because that was just me being fed up. You know what I'm saying? When I find myself cussing in my videos, that's just an indication of my passion. When I'm fed the fuck up with something, that's what that expression is. I'm tired of feeling silenced. I'm tired of seeing videos where people are like, you know, don't curse. So why you cuss so much? And but I can't do all the cussing and yada yada. Those are the same people who aren't living in their truth. That's just that fucking simple. People who have a problem with the language that you use, if it's not talking to them directly, but you just merely expressing yourself in a passionate way, it's just simply indicative of the fact that they're not. That's all that is. The judgment and projection of them not feeling, you know, willing enough to speak their truth, to say what it is they really want to say, and not fear or care about what others have to say about it. Not fear or care who's going to judge it, who's going to have something to say, who's going to, you know, ridicule it, because that's what they do. They don't want that to happen to them because they're the ones who are doing it. They're scared of that fucking mirror looking back at their ass and reflecting that shit right back to them. I'm tired of living like that. I'm over that shit. I'm tired of it. So the point of the message is, whatever the fuck messages you've been sitting on, whether it's just channel messages, whether it's through cards, whether it's through music, whether it's, you know, through a podcast, something, whatever the fuck it is, the medium that you've been sitting on, the ideas that you've been not sharing, the things, the wisdom that you've been holding on to that you know you can be helping someone else with, whether it's helping kids. Some, you know, some people have been locked the fuck up for years, okay? Have backgrounds that they may not be proud of, but it happened. It was your experience for a reason. Your soul came here to have that experience. So why the fuck are you not sharing that? Why are you not helping other people to avoid that same pitfall? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, this is the time to stop sleeping on that shit. So I know what I was told, and I know how the fuck it made me feel. And I know that some of you can relate, and that's why I'm posting this. Some of you can relate to the fact that you've been holding on to some shit that you know you need to be sharing with somebody. You know you should be putting that shit out there. I have a lot of messages and videos that I should be creating to put on my podcast. Okay? Like, there's so much stuff that I have just like archived in a sense, because, you know, I'm doing, and not only that, but it's like, on the side of the stuff that I mentioned earlier, like, I do all this shit by my motherfucking self. I don't outsource anything to any fucking body. Every video I fucking create, I record that shit. I edit that shit. I post that shit. Okay? I do all that on top of the shit that I'm creating, the t-shirts that I create, the fucking books that I'm writing. I do all that shit. And nobody knows about it. A lot of people don't know about that shit. They don't care enough, and that's cool. It's not for them. But it's just the awareness that I'm just, you know, speaking to the shit that I am doing behind the scenes. It's a lot. So on top of, you know, resonating with ADHD and all that stuff, overthinking and anxiety and depression and all, like, a lot of shit that I can, you know, allow to stop me, that I've been battling with, but I fight that shit all the fucking time. And finally starting to feel like I'm seeing some fucking light again. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit has not been fucking easy at all. And, but just getting to a point where I'm tired of feeling like I'm letting my soul down. And I know I'm not the only fucking one who feels like they're letting their soul down by keep getting these nudges and these inklings to do something, but you're letting the fear of what hasn't even fucking happened stop you. You know what I'm saying? Like earlier, it made me cry earlier too, because, and I admit it, I'm a fucking crybaby sometimes, okay? I feel things fucking deeply. That's what the fuck it is. Anyway, um, but that, brought tears to my eyes earlier when I was sitting there thinking about it. And I'm like, I want to go live. I want to do these things. I've done it once before and it wasn't that bad, but I've been like scared to do it ever since. For some reason, I feel like I'm aware of the reasons if I really allow myself to sit with that shit, but it's just, I just haven't allowed myself to take that step and do it again. And I was thinking about, I'm like, it's because you have shit to share. That the darkness, and it was right after I read that shit about the darkness, where I was like, you know that you have stuff to say, that you have wisdom to share with other people, that there's lives that you're supposed to impact and transform in positive ways. This shit. That's why the fuck you're feeling all that fear. The darkness wants you to feel that shit, aka the fucking matrix wants you to feel fearful in that way, to not do the thing that you're being called to do, because there's positive change you're supposed to be fucking making through just simply talking, sharing what the fuck you know. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is me calling myself out, but calling those out too, calling you out too. If you're seeing this and you're who I'm talking to, I'm calling your ass out too. Not in a negative way at all, but in an empowering way, to let you know and to tell you that I see you. I see you. I feel you. I hear you. We are connected. Stop fucking hiding. Stop waiting. Stop sitting on the fucking messages that you're supposed to share. Stop sitting on the experience and the wisdom that you have that can help some fucking body else who didn't have it. They didn't have it growing up. A lot of shit I didn't have growing up. All this shit that I'm doing nowadays, I taught my motherfucking self. The shit I've been working on and pushing myself through and healing through and sitting with and looking at and facing head on, I've taught all that shit myself. I've sought out the knowledge. I sat with that shit. I cried for fucking days on end, months on end, depressed for months on end, cutting off connections and relationships and fucking friendships and all kinds of shit. Sitting with my fucking shadows, looking at my shit in the mirror, not pointing fingers at every fucking body else, but looking at my shit. How do I contribute to this shit? I've been doing all that shit by my fucking self. I didn't have people that I felt comfortable enough to talk to, that really I felt really had my fucking back. There's a few very little in between, but not nearly to the point of feeling like I have a support system to lean on when I'm really going through shit. I sat with all that shit by my fucking self. Why? Because I grew up having to do that shit. Like, the people that was supposed to love me the most was my first fucking bullies. So, and that was from preschool age on up throughout high school. So I've been dealing with that shit for a really fucking long time. But I'm tired of feeling like I'm letting my fucking soul down by not sharing all the things that I've learned, all the strength that I've gained, all the wisdom that has come from those fucking experiences, from all the healing that I've done for myself. I make tinctures with herbs and fucking glycerites and like all kinds of shit that I have that I'm doing behind the fucking scenes that nobody fucking knows about. I don't put it out there because I'm been fighting my fucking ego to not feel like feel like I don't want to put shit out to make it feel like I'm just wanting validation. I just want somebody to give me a fucking good job. Good job, Jazz. Because I want to do that shit for my fucking self. But I'm tired. I'm tired of feeling like I'm hiding. And at the same time feeling like I have so much to share, but I'm scared. I'm scared of people looking at it the wrong way. Being misunderstood. Your whole fucking life makes you do that. Always being told that you think you're the shit because you have these features that basically low key I want, but I don't have. So you think you're better than me. And that's never been the case, ever. So now it's hard as fuck to decide, like, I want to share with the things that I know and the things that I've been doing. But I don't want to be looked at in that light. And then at the same time, battling the fact that I shouldn't care. I shouldn't even care. But my human does. The little girl in me does. Because she's still learning to trust me again. She's still learning to know that I have her back and that it's safe to share the things that we know. It's okay to, put yourself out there. And even if people don't agree or reject you or troll you or whatever the fuck them. She's still learning that she's still safe, even if that happens. So, point is, I'm calling you out, as well as myself, to stop being scared. Stop being scared to post. Stop being scared to share what you know. Stop being afraid of who's gonna, not accept you, who's not gonna like it, who's gonna ostracize you, who's gonna, you know, uh, shut you out. That was another thing I read about where it was just like, wow, people aren't afraid of their power. They're afraid of what others, what do you say about what, people aren't afraid of their power. They're afraid of what it, like how other people will perceive them or what they think other people will perceive of them as it relates to their power. They're afraid of being outcasted. They're afraid of being rejected. They're afraid of being not accepted and all those things. And that was one of the biggest things that I had wanted for a really long time, was a sense of acceptance. You know, um, all my family is melanated, and I'm just this light, bright little yellow thing that everybody seemed to be jealous of. For what? And I was the most loving fucking person there is. Biggest heart, goofball, sensitive, caring, not perfect at all, but genuine. And have been just kind of like, just, I want love too. And feel like I've been begging for it. And I'm tired of feeling like that as well. So, anyway, this is my reminder and my me being obedient to stop, to not caring so much anymore about who's gonna say what, who's gonna who's gonna fuck with it, who isn't. I'm tired of caring that much. And I hope you're tired of caring that much too. Because it's not about that. It's not about that at all. It's about honoring what the fuck our soul is calling us to do, honoring what the fuck our ancestors and our spirit team and our guides are nudging us to do, reminding us, what the fuck did you come here for? You agreed to this. You awakened to this. Why are you still holding this shit? Right? So, to whoever needed the message, needed the reminder, needed the kick in the ass, the light, the fire under your ass, whatever the fuck you needed, okay, let this be it. Okay? Calling your ass out too, just like I was called out. They're tired of waiting. They're patient, but it's like they're getting impatient. They've been patient for a really long time, and they're getting impatient. Our guides, our spirit team, our benevolent ancestors, they're getting tired of waiting for us to keep sharing the stuff that we know that we're supposed to be sharing, and stop just sitting on it. Like, I have lists of videos with notes and all kinds of stuff. I've literally over 790 something notes in my phone about a bunch of different stuff that that I want to create, or, you know, all kinds of stuff, t-shirt designs, fucking tea blends, and all kinds of stuff, digital products, just a whole bunch of shit. And I'm sitting on it. So this is me choosing to not do that anymore, because they asked me and they said it so, and that's why I know it was real, because it was so politely the way it came through. It was like, please. It was like that, like, last ditch effort of like, please stop holding back. We need you now. We need, like, you need to share. People need what you have through your particular lens of perspective. Stop sleeping on yourself, okay? In the most loving and understanding and compassionate way possible. Please stop sleeping on yourself. Share what it is that you have, even if you feel like it's small, even if you feel like it's insignificant, it won't matter. It's gonna fucking matter to somebody. I'm one of those people that it would matter to, believe it or not. That's part of why I started this journey in the first place, was to become the person I needed that I didn't have. So for that rare few that are just like me, just like her, the version that I was, right? When I really fucking needed somebody, I can be that somebody for somebody else. So, okay. Whoever it applies to, you know who the fuck you are. Stop sleeping on yourself. Share what the fuck it is you know you should be sharing. Start sharing them fucking messages you've been sitting on, them creations that you've been just holding back and not doing anything with. Okay? They came to you because you were the one who's supposed to bring them to life. Period. And then we get mad when we see somebody else do something that was like, I had that exact idea. What the fuck? Because it was so unique. And you thought it was only, yeah, that's how you know you were supposed to bring it to life, and somebody else took it, not because you gave it to them, but because that's how consciousness works. If something is supposed to come through and it comes through you and you don't do anything with it, it will evade you and go to somebody else who's willing to bring it forth. You're being called now, okay? You're being called the fuck out to bring it forth. So they just said you're put on notice, whoever that was for, okay? Magical as fuck, right? Fucking magical. You're put on notice. I'm just saying. I love you. Till the next one.